What's going on, YouTube community? How are you? This weekend was amazing. We had an absolute amazing time at our Power of Awareness Limitless Assumption Retreat. If you haven't gotten a chance to get in on that, you'll go ahead and look in the description. You'll find links to all of that. But today, I wanted to talk to you about something that was a recurring theme this weekend in our retreat. It was ultimately the nature of the subconscious and the intensity of power required to manifest what it is that you want. Now, Neville talks about a couple things in the Power of Awareness. First off, he says that the subconscious does not care whether a stimulation is external or internal, external or internal. It responds to the stimulation of the body, right? Whether that is stimulated internally or externally, the conscious and unconscious stimulations of the subconscious and impregnations of the subconscious ultimately more and more dominantly create more and more of the experiences that we're wanting here. Another thing that he also said, he talks about this a lot. He talks about naturalness. And these two things, understanding how the subconscious is impregnated by your conscious mind and understanding what naturalness is, probably the two biggest things that you could use and understand better that would ultimately help you see immediate correlation results inside of your actual manifesting. So we've talked about the subconscious, right? The subconscious is kind of the woman. The conscious mind is likened to the man. The man obviously impregnates the woman, and then the woman produces life. The same exact thing happens here with the conscious and the subconscious mind. Whatever we continue to focus on, whatever we continue to really give our attention to, right? When we're paying attention, we're paying for experiences, whether that's external or internal. And Neville talks about that in the Power of Awareness. Regardless of what is taking our attention is ultimately impregnating our subconscious, and our subconscious is reproducing the consistency and the substance of that attention into our life. So ultimately, one of the best things that you can do is be hyper mindful of your attention, right? Where are you paying attention? Where can you pay attention more to things that you want to constitute your experience, right? Because you can make here the conclusion that what I pay attention to pays more attention to me. Right? From a very relaxed and easy place, from a flow-driven place, what we pay attention to pays attention to us, right? I mean, honestly, from a negative side of things, that also occurs, but not in a pleasant way, right? So we don't want to go there here. What we want to talk about is the ability to really bring our attention back to the feeling of the wish fulfilled over and over and over, right? It's not about the length of time that we spend in the wish fulfilled. It's about returning to it, right? And if you really want to know what it is that you're manifesting, look at the times in your day when nothing is happening, right? When you're at rest, what are your inner dialogues? What are your inner narratives, right? What's happening inside of you when nobody's bothering you, when you don't have to work, when you don't have to go to school, when you don't have to do this, right? What is your state? That is what you're creating, not what we're doing when we're in hyper excited states, alpha, beta. It's when we're resting, right? The place that we return to when we are resting is what constitutes what we are creating. Huge, huge factor there for you. The other thing we want to talk about is naturalness, right? Neville says to the degree in which a thing is natural for you, right, to be true, it comes to pass. William Blake said, what seems to be is for those to whom it seems to be, right? And what he was saying there is that the way it is the way it is for the person that says that's the way it is, right? So in order for something new to become natural to us, we have to constantly return to it. And we're not thinking of the wish fulfilled. We're thinking from the wish fulfilled. So I'm not looking at my desires as something that I'm watching happen. I'm watching myself occupy them. What I'm doing is I'm actually bringing myself into the experience and experiencing the fulfillment of that desire without any attachment to it. And what's going to happen here is that the more I internally stimulate myself and really get myself in a place where I'm feeling as though I already have accomplished what I want to accomplish, the beliefs that surround that, the worldview that comes into play as you step in that becomes easier and easier to really revel in and ultimately becomes a deeper part of your psyche, right? Because the things that are true for you now were at one point not true and became natural through repeated belief. So what we want to do here is we want to take the things that would be true if we already had what we wanted, and we want to really envelop them in our nervous system. We want to dive into the sensations, the tonalities. And somebody asked yesterday at our retreat, right? What do you visualize? What do you visualize to have the most effective response here from the subconscious? And the most effective visualizations are going to be low stakes assets, right? So when I say low stakes assets, what I mean is if you're manifesting a car, right? If you want to manifest a car or a job or a house, whatever, find aspects of that aren't carrying the full meaning of whatever that thing is, and begin to dive into them, right? So if it's a house that I'm wanting, something that I used to do that I've manifested 7,000 square foot houses with is simply feeling myself to be in the bed and feeling the tonalities of the comforter and the sheets and the pillow and the air temperature and the surrounding walls and the decorations, and really feeling myself into that scene over and over and over and over again without being attached to how that scene actually comes to life in my world. And I do that every single night on the way to sleep, and it works miracles. So the two things that really can actually begin to help you take this to a new level as you begin to leverage them deeper are understandings of your subconscious, that the subconscious does not care about what you feed it. It doesn't care about what you feed it. It just reproduces what it is fed. And naturalness, the idea, the concept that something becomes more true to us the more we feel it to be true. So these are the two things that you can take and run with for the next couple of weeks and see some massive progress with. If this has helped you, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, do your thing. You don't have to do any of those. Would love if you do. Come hang out. We're continuing to do more and more of these. I love seeing you. I love hanging out with you. And I'm looking forward to talking to you soon.